Yeah, thank you very much. The Trade Union Development Cooperation Network is an initiative of the International Trade Union Confederation, to which the Trade Union Congress of Namibia is an affiliate, and is aimed at enhancing the trade union advocacy on sustainable development processes. This network is composed of the ITUC affiliate organizations from all over the world, which actively follow development and cooperation policy with the support of ITUC and the ITUC regional confederations, which are ITUC Africa, which is also affiliate, and ourselves as the national centers. We have been promoting the SDGs at the national development level and also through national development strategies. So as a labor movement, we are taking very, very keen interest in development policies and ensuring that they are human-centered. They are not there to just prioritize capital. So this network is very important in light of those strategies.
And what were some of the key highlights or outcomes from the Trade Union Development Cooperation Network meeting that was held in Brussels?
Yeah, let me look at the objectives before I go to the highlight. The objective was to fine-tune the trade union strategies on development policy in the current geopolitical context. You know that the geopolitical context has changed completely, and as a labor movement, we need to position ourselves and see how does the development policy respond to this, in order so that no one can be left behind. This includes the advocacy vis-à-vis the United Nations and European Union in defense of multilateral solutions on the human rights, social justice, and democratic values. So that was one of the very important, objectives. The second objective was to strategize on the multiple United Nations processes happening in 2025, including the fourth financings and the development conference that is coming now from the 30th June to the 3rd July in Sevilla, Spain, which also I happen to form 7 delegates of ITUC to this meeting, which is also very a good achievement from Namibia and Trade Union Congress in particular. We're also looking at the UN High-Level Political Forum for Sustainable Development that is coming also 2025 in July now in New York. And also the third one is a second World Summit for Social Development that is also coming from the 4th to the 6th of November in Qatar this year. So we have to ensure that all these international or UN processes that are happening in 2025, they do take cognizance of the issues of social and decent work and social investment at the center. So those are where the 2 major objectives of this conference, and we have attained it, because if we look at the documents that go into the second World Summit for Development in Qatar, it talk about the issues of global accelerators for job and social protections, for just transitions. It also talk about the issues of enhancing the social protections and social spending. So we are fighting for ensure that all those documents, they put a human being at the center.
Yeah. And how did Namibian trade unions, particularly your organization, contribute to the discussions or strategies outlined at this meeting?
We were fortunate that our federation was chosen to be one of the spokesperson of the whole global labor movement across the world at the UN platforms. So we have been very actively involved in that one. Myself, I have been heading various committees that are contributing to all these UN processes. So we were fortunate in that respect. And through that, especially coming from our own policy position, which was adopted at our last Congress last year, it is very clear that our policies at the national level, through at the continental level and to the global levels are taking a stage in terms of being included in these processes.
Yeah. And can you tell us, why is SDG 8, which emphasizes on decent work and economic growth, so central to the trade union movement, and how was this reflected during the meeting?
Yeah, SDG 8 is very central in a sense that we have observed over the years that there is an economic growth which are jobless, economic growth which are not responding to improving the livelihood of the people. So development of SDGs in 2015, we as a trade union, we make sure that the decent work is coupled to economic growth. So economic growth, we talk about economy of growth with grown with 5%, whatever percentage. We should also look at how did that growth contributed to decent employment. Decent employment have 4 pillars. We talk about social protection, we talk about social dialogue, we talk about the rights at work, and we talk about the sustainability of employment. So when we're talking about the economic growth, we're not just in the numbers that we are praising with, but it will transform into adding value to the life of the people. So we deny and we reject the economic growth that is jobless, the economic growth that does not bring value to the people. That's why the economic growth was now tied to decent employment under SDG 8, and that became a cornerstone of that. Of course, through the years, we have also expanded, brought in also other SDGs that have relevancy to SDG 8, like SDG 17 and many more. So it's very important that we need to take this in cognizance.
Now, the meeting also touched on development policies within a complex global geopolitical context. What does this mean for workers in the global south, including Namibia?
It means a lot, because you know that when there is a geopolitical, animosity, you realize that the one that is suffering are the workers who are at the receiving end. So it's very important that when you're talking about the policies that are aimed for development, they need to be decent work-centered, they need to be human-centered, and they need to respond also taking cognizance of the environment, because climate change is real and is posing a serious threat to humanity. So we believe that whatever is happening in the global north, it should not have a negative repercussions on the global south. So it's very important that for us in the global south, we need to position ourselves and ensure that all the development policies, they become human-centered in their nature, and they also promote decent employment. So that is the gist of it, and we have to make sure that we are at the table for us. We are not, no one should decide for us. We need to plan together, we need to be on the table, and I'm sure that the process of a UN that is taking place now, they must become an exemplary at the national level, where the Ministry of International and Trade are taking trade union on board, where the Ministry of Investment are taking trade union on board, so that we at the national level, we can also input in our country positions when you're going at the international stage.
And how will trade unions in Namibia work with the government and other actors to ensure that decent work is prioritized in our national development strategy?
The discussion has started. We are not at the stage where we say that we are working on that progressively well. The discussion has started because the issues of including the labor provision in employment and investment policy have started. We are seeing some development in that respect. The making sure that our national budgeting processes become pro-employment and gender sensitive is also starting, but of course it's a process. So we hope that with the new administration now, we are going to intensify our dialogue with them, starting from head of state, for them to understand why trade unions should be on the table and why important, what can they contribute to the national development, and ensure that the national development policies do respond to the society. Because Namibia is one of the high unequal society in the world, unequal society in the world, and if we don't arrest the situation now, we might go have far-reaching consequences.
And just finally, what message would you like to share with Namibian workers and the general public regarding the road ahead for the trade union movement in shaping development?
Well, the message that I have for them is that for now, they are well represented, and it will not help for us to come and represent the workers, and majority of them, they don't see interest in it. So we need to intensify the issues for them to realize that belonging to a trade union is the way to go, and the trade union have already moved away from just be considerate of bread and butter issues, boardroom issues. We are now engaging in a macro socio-economic policies, development influence, and it's very important that we need to be on the table, and we need to change, because the trade union of yesterday and the union of today. Yesterday we only talked about the issue of salaries, toying, and those kind of things. Now we are talking about influencing development policies, being on that table, and to ensure that every actions that impact the worker one way or another, the trade unions have a say in it. So it's very important that we need to take, and at the country level, we need to enhance social dialogue. We need to develop social dialogue. We need to ensure that we trust each other. So this approach of government thinking that if they open up for social dialogue, their policy will be hijacked, those kind of things will not happen, because every policy must benefit the citizen of that country, and the citizen must have a say. Of course, we are not going to agree on everything, and if we agree on everything, then someone is failing to think. So we should embrace diversity. We should embrace various ideology, but of course we need to come at one point that will take Namibia forward.
Yeah.